Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the LFC Transfer Room Thursday night, and it's been a week since the Zubimendi news. We've gone from Zubimendi to absolutely fucking nobody in the space of 1 week. Boys, I don't know how you're doing. We are the LFC Transfer Room, but we are under a review of changing our name to LFC No Transfer Room in the next coming days. We're just going to give it a couple of weeks and see how it goes the next few weeks to see where our new name goes and where our new visions go. Eli coming in with full on depression setting in about the LFC. This somehow has become a travesty. Our fan base is so sad that they will be fine if Salah Trent leaves and we'll get one goalkeeper going to Bournemouth. We're going to get into Trent and Salah. Doubts of the future, boys. I mean, I don't know about you, but I am slightly worried about those three contracts being sorted. Jonathan, you look how I feel, mate. How are you feeling?
Disappointed. It's been a bad week, to be honest. The Zubimendi news and then the Trent and Salah news. And our sporting director is getting signings for Bournemouth, his old club.
It's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good. That's what it is.
I'm actually lost for words. It was hard enough with the Zubimendi heartbreak and then the Trent news break that he don't want to discuss with another club as respect for his boyhood club. I take that as he will have private talks with other clubs, but don't go out public with them.
It's definitely a worrying time, mate. It's definitely a worrying time.
And Salah is... I have been... If they aren't going to renew his contract, we should have sold him just to get the money. But it doesn't look like we're going to sell him, so it's a big loss if we don't renew his contract. All in all, just a very disappointing week, and it don't look very good right now. But I trust Edwards, but not Hughes, to be honest.
So much faith in Hughes there. Misha, we're both rocking the old kits. Are we going back? A step the way we're going right now?
I mean, I don't know if we're going back a step, but we're definitely not moving forward. What everybody was worrying about is that we're not making transfers in July, and all the thing that was keeping us calm was Hugh saying it's gonna be a busy August, and we're literally in the middle of August. It's the 15th of August. We haven't signed anyone. We haven't heard about contract extension, so it's really hard now to trust him. As Jonathan said, it's really hard to trust this guy. I'm sure he is doing his best. I don't think he's like some kind of scam artist or like it's not a Ponzi scheme. He's not like a con artist or something. For sure not. But I think he realizes that it's way harder, the jump that he made, like from what he's been doing at Bournemouth to do it at Liverpool, and maybe that's not helping him. We were just talking before the stream, if Calvin Phillips made a jump too early, I think maybe Hughes could have made too big of a jump in his new role. Hopefully I'm wrong, but we should have seen at least one or two players signed. Regarding the contract extensions, I tend to not to worry too much. Salah is Salah. He will sign what he wants. But we've already gotten the best from him, so he's been the best player for the past couple of seasons, maybe more. That's fine. With Trent, I think it's gonna be a similar story to Zubimendi. I think he loves the club too much to even consider like leaving it. If he's even offered like money or a big opportunity, let's say Real Madrid, it's gonna be just something that is gonna stop him at the last minute, and it could be like just like Zubimendi did us, to maybe give his word and then change at last moment to keep staying at Liverpool and finish his career there, hopefully.
I think we're sort of hanging on to that Trent thing where he's a Scouser thing. I think that's the only thing we're hanging on to right now. There's nothing else suggesting that he would stay. It's literally nothing. Paul says, "Hi guys, and David, if you're up on coming holiday is based on transfers, we'll enjoy the rain, cold and miserable." Please don't say that, because I'm going on holiday this weekend, mate. So please, I do not want rain and miserable. I need to get away from these transfer negotiations that we're going under. Stu, we have made a sign. It's a new lawnmower. Excited?
Yeah, buzzing.
Mind the pun there, we're buzzing. But yeah, in general, though, Stu, how are you feeling? These worries that we had before, the weeks before, are they now becoming valid?
I think a little bit. I think I said the other night, yeah, that Zubimendi deal was a right kick in the balls. It was so much fart arsing around, and I think in sort of retrospect, looking back at it, the more it dragged on, we kind of should have figured out that it wasn't going to happen if he was having doubts. If a player really, really, really wants to come to the club, and that's all we should be asking for, is a player who really wants to come to our club, then it should be a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. The fact that we brought in almost 50 million quid in transfer fees as well from selling players, and we still haven't got a player with 2 weeks to go, as Michaud quite rightly points out, we're halfway through the month. Hughes even stated at the end of July that transfer business will be done in August, players will be coming in, and if that was the plan just for Zubimendi, then yeah, Hughes is going to get a hell of a lot of flack for this. A hell of a lot. I can't even put it on Edwards because Hughes is the one that does the hunting and the signing. Edwards is further up in the pecking order now. So he's not going to have as, I wouldn't say not as much influence, but he's got a lot of other things on his plate for FSG. He's the one that's going out looking for other clubs that they can buy. So it's down to Hughes and his amazing black book of contacts that apparently he has in Spain and Italy, and yet it still did absolutely nothing. And for that, he does deserve the flack. As for the contract situations, again, as I said it before, Van Dijk is a little bit different because you become up to 34 by the end of the season. And I personally think if they're planning on doing a lot of future proofing and looking how the club is going to move forward and the team's going to move forward, I don't think Van Dijk is going to sign a 1 year extension. He'll be looking for like a 2 or 3 year, which doesn't really fit our model. Salah, on the other hand, I do think he will sign, and Trent, I think, will sign in the end. But if neither of them do, Hughes is headed on the chopping block with no transfers, and he lets those two guys especially slip through. It will not be good for him. He'll be out of a job, just put it that way.
Me personally, I am looking at Hughes and thinking, what are you actually doing here? I can't look at Hughes and say, yeah, you're the main guy at fault here, because this has been happening for years now. This happened when we got rid of Lovren, and we got told, well, let's just wait till the end of the transfer window, wait till the transfer window, got told over and over. Didn't replace him until, was it January after? Canate won it after. Got in the January, was it? Got in the year after, didn't we, Canate? Got in the January. Was it January? You're asking me now. I'm sure it was the year after. Basically, we waited, and we threw that season away. We were top of the league. It was the year after because we made the panic signings in the January, where we bought Ben Davis and Ozan Kabak in the January late on.
Oh,
panic signings, and we got told back then to wait till the end of the transfer window. We've been told back before to wait till the end of the transfer window. There's only times you can get bitten before you start coming away or starting asking questions of the pet that you've got, because you can't have your head in your sand for so long and expect to change. Expect people to be happy being questioned about certain things. I mean, you can see in the comments here, they're very, very adamant of where the blame lies here. I mean, Infection says, I understand Trent if he leaves, because imagine a Liverpool fan seeing your club going downhill purposely, and it's your career to play, of course, or would you go for a successful career? That's what it is. If it takes Virgil van Dijk to come out and question the ambitions of your club, then why are fans still defending what's going on? It absolutely baffles my mind. I saw it again earlier with Redmen TV. What the fuck are you doing? I know you've got connections to the club, but come on. Use your brain, use your common sense, and stop being a protection for what's going on. You can criticise your club. You can love your club at the same time as criticising them. For me, I'm not surprised to see what's going on this summer. Absolutely not surprised. And that tells you, that it's been going on a lot longer than what it should have been doing. And we're all happy to accept it over the last few years. you can't complain about it now because it's been accepted for so long that that's just the norm right now. Hughes has proved he's incapable of handling big transfers. Personally, his days are numbered. I want to know what budget Hughes and others have to work with as well, because are they trying to negotiate lowballing teams? We're even doing it with a keeper at the moment. We're trying to lowball. Just pay the fucking money. If you want the guy that you want to get, I'm not saying we need a keeper right now. I'm just saying, if you want the guy, go get the guy that you want to get.
I said this the other night. I said, why are we lowballing offers? I don't get it. We're back in the Champions League. We just brought in 50 million quid on transfers. Plus, we have our own budget, which realistically should be 100 million plus.
You'd think
Why are
so.
we lowballing?
You'd think so.
You'd think so. Well, that's what it should be for the amount of money that, well, how much our club is worth now. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So what the hell are they doing?
I think it's. I'm very disappointed. Not the fact that we didn't get Subimendi, because up to what I've read, the money was there to be used, but they didn't have a plan B. Okay, if Subimendi says no, they pulled up a PowerPoint in Spain. What is plan B? That's what's fucking annoying. To say it straight.
That's just madness, isn't it? It's absolute madness that they don't have someone behind.
We will do the transfer in August. Oh, he said no. Well, what can we do? Okay, blame FSG for being stingy, but again, it's Hughes, it's Edwards. Where's the plan B? Arne ain't a manager. He's just the head coach. He's not involved in this.
Yeah. It's almost like we're throwing Arnie under the bus straight away as well, isn't it, Jonathan? Really,
it's fucking annoying.
Let's start with the news then tonight. We'll start with you, Misha. Also, the contracts. Paul Gorse came out earlier on and gave us the updates on the contract situations with Salah and Trent. Basically, Trent said that he didn't want to go public about it. Out of respect to the Boyhood Club, does that give you an indication that he might be going? Because out of respect sort of makes me think, is he actually thinking of leaving the door? And if that comes out, it's disrespect to the club more so than staying.
No, I think more likely it's that there has been talks with him. Let's say Real Madrid, for example, probably other clubs have approached him or his agent, and there's probably something that we don't know, but people in the know that have been asking for an interview and for him to make comments on these approaches and how he feels about it and things like that. And he hasn't said a word. So I think that's what it means. Like he rather not even entertain these rumors regarding other clubs approaching him. We heard from many outlets that Real Madrid are serious about signing him, whether this year or next year. And he hasn't been just entertaining this speculations or rumors or interest. He's focused on Liverpool, so that's what I'm expecting from him. Again, Arne is the new coach, so for a lot of people, he has to win them. He has to win the players like Klopp did years ago. So now it's up to the coach, up to the people on top to convince the players to stay, because they have every right to leave if they want to. You have to be promised that you're going to be playing for something, that there is a plan, there's a project. They were just not like saying one thing and doing completely the other, like what Hughes is doing. But hopefully, I'm sure everybody wants to play and challenge for titles, whether it's the Premier League, Champions League, whatever, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I'm not counting it. It's whatever we won it last year. It doesn't. I don't care for it. But we have to be challenging. We have to be closer than last year for the Premier League. I hope we can get at least quarterfinals and Champions League. Just play entertaining football and get at least to the quarterfinals, maybe semifinals of the Champions League, just to show that there's something there. Even with a new coach, we have the quality to challenge. If you cannot promise that within a season or two, great talents like Salah, like Van Dijk, like everyone really like has the right to leave because they don't see it working out with a new coach, with a new system, with a new project. So yeah, but I'm not worried about influential players like Trent leaving, because I think it's gonna cause more controversy than anything.
The one thing that came out, what Paul Gore said today, Stu, what worried me the most, it wasn't just the fact that Trent said he wants to respect the club and not come out with his talks publicly. Salah, obviously, nothing suggesting to a new contract yet at the moment, gone to Goss, but this is the main one that got me today, was the suggestion of they're looking at a long-term view of possibly these three going. So that could be seen as an excuse of not buying anyone this season. This summer is the fact that we've got a big summer next year. If them three were to go, we've got to replace them.
Every year. Oh.
But you know,
we don't seem to learn.
Mate, honestly, I'm so tired. I'm beyond even going into the possibility of replacing these guys now. I don't even want to think about it right now, Stu, but what the fuck is going on? Because if we're planning on these three going next season and not getting a DM, we only don't need a DM next season. We also need to replace these three. Instead of future-proofing these 3 ages ago. What?
We can't even future-proof the DM. We've been looking for a DM to replace Fabinho for 3 years. 3 seasons without getting a proper DM in. Okay, the position has changed slightly with the tactics that Slot plays, so it's going to be a slightly different type of player.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping that we would get a DM and that was going to be like a tackler, a ball cruncher, but it doesn't look. It looks like he wants a more style of player like Zuba Mendes.
Controller, yeah,
controller. But there are other players out there that could quite easily do that. Angelo Stiller is a prime example. He popped up on Twitter the other day. Really, really good statistics for Stuttgart for the last couple of seasons, and very similar style of sort of player. Could be actually cheaper as well. But hey, I'm not in Hughes' position, so it doesn't matter.
Shame you aren't. You should have been.
Yeah.
I think anyone could have applied it for it now.
To be fair, yeah. But this is what I can't understand. I can't understand the secrecy behind it all either. The lack of communication from the high aboves, the lack of communication out to the fans. Even if they were to come out and say, look, we have got things in the works, just relax a little bit. We will have something done by the end of August. Contracts are being negotiated, blah, blah, blah. But we've had nothing. Not a word from Hughes since the press conference with Slot, 6-7 weeks ago, when that was. And then we sell players. We've got 3 players coming down to a final year of their contract. All 3 of them could quite realistically sign pre-contracts in January, and that'd be them bye-bye. And we have no money for them. We've paid them all this money, and we haven't got a replacement for our captain, our vice-captain, our scouser in the team, and arguably our best modern-age player that we've had at the club in Salah. No replacement for those 3. If that actually happens, there will be... I don't want to say the words just in case I get in trouble. I don't want to get arrested.
I know what you mean. Four letter word begin with ending with T.
Yeah. So that is what FSG and the club would have to expect from the fans if that happens. Now, I'm trying to sort of keep a 50-50 look at this and think, okay, they messed up with the Zubimendi deal. That's on Hughes' head. It has to be on Hughes' head. It was him that was calling it, and it got messed up. He is the one that has to correct it, and it will fall on him. It can't fall on Slot. It is not his fault. And by all accounts, from what I've seen, and again, as been discussed before, the players actually do look really happy in training. They look refreshed.
Yeah.
They look ready to go. And Slot seems to have them ticking over. Now, we do have a squad that can compete for the Champions League spots. We competed, albeit probably punched a little bit above our weight last season for the title. We all knew what we needed for the squad, and that still hasn't happened. Now, I fully expect us to be competing for that Champions League spot again this season, minimum, without a doubt, even without any signings with the squad that we have. It looks like Sepp van der Berg and Morton are actually going to get chances with the squad this season. And Bajcetic, because it doesn't look like he's going to go out on loan now, from what I've read. So that they're probably looking at that going, well, if we're to keep them in the squad, do we need to sign a DM? It's like, well, yeah, we kind of do.
Numbers. We've heard this game before, haven't we, Stu? We've
Yeah.
heard numbers before. We've got the numbers.
And it is about. I know you absolutely despise FSG, and I've always been on the fence with them. But the last couple of seasons and seeing what's happening this transfer window and the last transfer window, especially last summer, not January, it actually puts into perspective how well Klopp actually did with the club and our team to get to where we are now today, with what is quite clearly piss arsing around behind the scenes, and it is even more evident now. They need to correct it and need to correct it bloody quickly. Otherwise, they will have a lot of very angry fans.
Regarding FSG, I was going to say this one thing quickly. I got told that 2 years ago, I had an agenda against FSG, but I've always praised them. Stu, you've seen me on this stream many times. I've praised them for many things that they've done well, but I just don't think, and it's absolutely showing now more than ever. And to me, it showed like a few years ago, and I've seen the same patterns because I used to write for LSE Transfer Room. I used to write the same shit every single summer. Yeah. I used to see the pattern going, everything. Obviously, we're going to have a big summer, we're going to spend a lot. Then the summer comes on, we get linked to all these, and then in the end, it's all this PR like, oh, but Gravenberch can play 6, Jones can play 6. It's just the same shit over and over and over. I've interviewed Mo Shatter on this channel. We've spoken about the PR, and he absolutely agrees with it. He says the PR from obviously the changing from Nike to from New Balance to Nike, they threw New Balance under the bus regarding that as well. The PR Nike, because obviously Nike offer more money. I've interviewed an ESPN journalist that covers Boston sports over there, and he says the same shit is happening to Boston Red Sox. Boston Celtics fans don't want them to take over. They don't want them to take over because they see what's happened to Boston Red Sox. So when I've processed all this experience and I've spoken to everyone across the world about this situation, I haven't based my FSG out on basically on just transfers alone. It's the whole thing. It's from the Super League situation, pushing for the Super League, the main ones. It's all about money. It's all about ambition. It's all about ambition to make money rather than ambition to win. And it's the same as happened to Red Sox, from trademarking the name to the PR. The PR is the one that pisses me off the most. The PR is absolutely disgusting. The way they put out last week, oh, but Gravenberch and Jones can play 6. Fuck off.
No.
Seriously, because
they're not those type of players.
We all know.
They're attacking midfielders. They're more like Zoboslai. Both those players are supposed to play in that sort of position, more attacking central midfielders. They do not like sitting back. That is not their style of play. Never has been, never will be. So
I'm just sick of people to play in roles they're not supposed to play and covering. You know, it happened last season. We had fucking Gomez like 6 last season. We had to play Gomez and there's a game last season, a couple of games last season. And I don't want to see that. Why would you want to see that? Before we move on though, our transfer's harder now without Klopp. Jonathan, what do you think? Our transfer's a bit harder without Klopp now.
Again, hard to say per season on Arne. Yeah, I think so. Klopp had a more well-known name than what Arne has right now. But maybe in a few years, it wouldn't really matter. Liverpool would still be Liverpool. Just been unlucky, and we should have paid the clause straight away in the Subemendi deal, so Real Sociedad couldn't talk to him. Then it would have played for us on Saturday. If we paid the money straight away and not, we need a definite. Just pay the money. Where he couldn't have talked with Sociedad, then he would have probably started on Saturday.
I think if we did pay the 51 million just up front straight away when he said yes, I think there wouldn't have been time for him to change his mind. I don't think there'd have been a thought of. He's got to look after his boyhood club as well. You've got to think about that. He wants to make sure his club is getting the right deal and getting the money.
And they said to him, if you want to leave, you have to purchase, force the transfer, pay your own fee. And it's a dirty play from Sociedad, but they would never have gotten that chance if we pay the money. He said, yes, okay, here's the money. Go pay your clothes. See you on training on Monday. I'm just disappointed. I can't find the right words to anything.
It's hard, mate. This is what it's doing right now. Also, we're going to forget about it on Saturday when we're playing the game. I'm hoping we win, because if we lose on Saturday or draw, then it's going to add to the misery at the moment.
But if we sign Mohamed Salah, I'm really happy with the signing. Only thing that's shit is that he's going to Bournemouth on loan. the former club of use a year. It's just written in the stars that he will hold a clean sheet, and that could send us out of a title.
Oh, don't even say that. Do not say that. Do not say that. Salah will leave and Trent will stay paid the toll. It's going to go to this one here. Let's go down to your second Centeno. Just going to get a few more up at the moment. No market talent LC since Alisson Van Dijk. Well, James, that's a very, very good point, that no market talent since Centeno, because we have the Coutinho money, and at the moment we don't have a Coutinho that was sold to get that. We operate like a mid-table club. No Zube on second Elliot. No Zube is Deal's huge mistake. It's his responsibility, and now when he's stressed already, free players contract doesn't look very professional at the club. The fact that we've let that go down to the last year of their contracts anyway, that's just ridiculous for me. Let's move on then, Misha. Let's move on to Luis Diaz. The new news that came out today about Luis Diaz was that Barcelona are ready to make an offer, according to Pepe Sierra, who was the person that broke the news on Diaz coming to Liverpool a few years back. They're ready to prepare to make an offer for him, but they're trying to engineer money. Obviously, we know that they can't afford fully at the moment, but the money is right now 60 to 65 million, I think, is valued at Diaz. Do you see that transfer happening? And if it does and we don't replace him as well, what's the reaction to that?
I honestly cannot say if the transfer is happening, because Barcelona are very they come out. I mean, that comes from Laporta, where he says one day we don't have money to buy anyone, and then the next day you hear we can buy whoever we want. They were targeting Nico Williams. They were targeting Olmo. Olmo now is signed, but they cannot register him. That was the same fiasco that happened with Lewandowski, I think. In the season before Lewandowski, I think they were having trouble registering people. In the end, they managed to do it, but they had to wait. They couldn't register them for the first few game weeks, I think. I honestly don't know if they go for it. That has been going on. Oh, yeah, it's news from today, but someone in the Luis Diaz camp has been talking about going out trying to increase his price, maybe, or just the interest. Being rumors about him getting sold to whoever, mostly with his link with Barcelona, but links with whoever. Or we heard this 15-minute rumors that he was agreed with City. So it's something going on. I'm guessing from the players' camp, from people that are close to him, that are just trying to stir the water. It's whatever. Luis Diaz is a good player. I really don't know how to feel lately about him, because I think he's given his best. Klopp knew he was a late bloomer once we bought him. That was 2 years ago, I think. Now he's 27. It's either now he enters his peak and plays his best football this season, or he's already played his best season. So I really cannot say. Last season, I saw he scored only 8 goals. I know he had a situation with his father, but 8 goals for a winger at Liverpool, that's not good enough. Comparing him to Mane.
He also had a bad injury, though. First full season.
True, yeah, but still 8 goals for a winger, it's not good enough. So he has to score at least double that to be worth keeping. If he ends up going, I think it's pretty obvious that Gakpo is gonna play on the left. Gakpo said yesterday or the day before yesterday that he spoke with Klopp, he spoke with Slot, and Slot told him that he wants him on the left. So I don't think we should be too worried. I think they will be competing for that position, and I said it weeks ago on the stream that I think Gakpo is gonna take his place by the end of the season. Then Luis Diaz plays an amazing game against Sevilla. I didn't expect that from him, but he was on fire. The first goal that he scored, I was really indifferent about losing him, but now seeing getting a reminder of what he can do, these beautiful goals where he just finds this tiny space to shoot and he's so quick with it. and really shoots the ball well, yeah, that's really important. And I hope to see more of this, what he played against Sevilla through the whole season. Then after that, the season after that, I don't mind selling him. This season, we'll see.
I think it's one of them situations this season that where it's okay to keep him for another season. I mean, we're not in an absolute rush to get. Like you just said, Gakpo's going to be left wing anyway for this season. Diaz and Gakpo battling out for left wing is perfectly fine for me this season, and it does seem like Diaz does want out though. If I'm honest, just because of the talk from his dad to the talk from his camp. Again, according to the reports today, though, Stu, is that Barcelona have contacted his camp last week.
Yeah,
he see things are ticking now with him. And if we were to get rid of him, so we get rid of him, how late can we leave this? If we were to get rid of him,
I've got a funny feeling that this is going to go down to transfer deadline day, and I think if that is going to be the case, then Diaz will leave and we won't get a replacement. I can see it happen quite easily. I am more annoyed at the fact that, and I find it incredibly disrespectful, actually, that Barcelona have obviously contacted Diaz, which is fair enough. Every football club does that with the players and stuff like that. But the fact that obviously part of Diaz's entourage is his dad and his mum and the family behind him. And they're the ones, apparently, who are nudging him towards that decision. After what happened last year, I find that incredibly disrespectful to the club.
Yeah.
After the fact that we brought his family over after the horrendous kidnapping in Colombia and looked after his entire family over here for the last few months before they decided to go back to South America. And now they want to do that. If I was the club, it would have to take not a 60 million euro bid?
5 million pounds, actually, yeah.
I would tell Barcelona to fuck off. Diaz has got 3 years left on his contract. You're not going anywhere. It's as simple as that. That's the way I treat it. Gakpo would be my starting left winger, and I would make Diaz sit on the bench. Because no one player disrespects the club this way, especially after how we treated him and his family after the ordeal that they went through. And I just find it's such bad taste. And if Diaz wants to go and really force this through, then again, he will have no thanks, no praise coming from me as a Liverpool fan, because it is that disrespectful as far as I'm concerned. And Barcelona are just Barcelona. They think they could do whatever they want. But at the same time, we still hold all the cards. 3 years left on his contract. As you say, we could quite easily hold him for another season. It's no skin off our nose at the end of the day. But I think just the way that this has all come about, I think is just very disrespectful in my eyes.
That's what it is, though, isn't it, Stu? That, I mean, if he goes, he goes. It's as simple as that. We'll move on. We'll get a replacement. Hopefully, I say we'll get a replacement. We might not. Might have to go another 10 years before we get a replacement.
Was it a swap deal was being touted?
Yeah.
But I look at it and go, okay, we could get Frankie de Jong, but his wages are massive and he's injury prone. We could get Pedri off them or Gavi, but both of them are injury prone because Barcelona have ruined their young talents. The only one who I would actually take and we could look after would be Yamal, but they won't let him go. They will not let him go.
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. Let's go to Santana here. Thank you for the donation as well, Santana. They are going to sell all the players with association to Klopp. The Klopp-Edwards rift was bigger than we will ever know. I mean, that's a big statement to say there, Santana. I mean, everyone that was linked to Klopp, that means practically the whole team, and doesn't expect when it's anyone for slot. So much for the buy to sell. If we lose Trent on a free, FSG should call it a day.
How many players have we let go on a free?
Quite a few now. Yeah. Thiago. Naby went on a free, didn't he? Naby went on a free.
Yeah.
Oxlade-Chamberlain went on a free.
Matip.
Yeah. We got him on a free, so that's not too
much. Yeah, we didn't really lose a lot on that. But
for me, Bobby.
Yeah,
let him go for
Yeah.
free.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely
And now
crazy.
it's talks about Virgil, Trent, and Salah. Been the fucking system.
Visco's here says the spin next year. Quansah replaces VVD, Bradley replaces TAA, and Gordon is the new Salah. But the thing is, with Quansah should be the new Matip, not the Van Dijk. He didn't play on that side anyway. He should be, he's the one that's pushing Konate for that spot. Let's face it, we have a dysfunctional back room and no Klopp around to call it out eternally. I think that I wish Klopp called it out externally, if I'm honest, a little bit more than they did. I know there's slight little digs, very, very sly little digs, like I'm not in charge of the money. We don't take the risks I want to take. He does say certain things, but there's going to be a point, I'm hoping in the future, Klopp does reveal all, if I'm honest, when he's away from the situation. SG JK into an old man. I do feel sorry for Klopp. I said, I mean, when I said in our chat a couple of months ago, I said we wasted Klopp, and I got absolutely shot down for it. I said we wasted Klopp. And they just all said Man City cheat, Man City cheat. We're behind Arsenal, by the way, not just Man City. On your 20 live on YouTube, please, everyone. Thank you again. If you are watching, please. If you are watching on Twitter, sorry, come over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video tonight, and turn on your notification bell. We're live every single night at 7:30. Apart from obviously Saturday, we've got match reaction and a late show on Saturday after the game against Ipswich. FG just want to raise the profile and value of the asset. That's all they care about, says Eli here. Thank you for Zia. I know it says David, thank you. I don't know what you're saying. Thank you for, but you're welcome. Let's call it out. This is negligence and complacency plus complete lack of ambition. FG are custodians of the club only. I spotted LSE for 50 years and I've always been about winning. When we talk about owners, I said it in the chat earlier. Someone said in our chat that FG are the best owners outside of the cheating ones. And I thought you got to put context into this situation, because are they really the best owners? Are they providing Liverpool manager everything that they can to achieve what a club like Liverpool should be doing? No. And I think Brighton owners are doing that for Brighton to achieve or overachieve. I think Villa owners are doing that. So they're not the best owners around. They're not the worst. They're not Glazers. But they're certainly not the best, far from the best. And the fact that we were apparently a well-run club, I think is absolute bollocks, if I'm honest. Oh, God, other than Alfield Janet, another LSE channel is calling them out. You haven't been following me for quite a while, have you, Raven? Most people who want FSG out have been saying it's Klopp who held the club together, not Edwards and FSG. We said this chain will happen. I mean, in 2021, October 2021, I wrote a piece for LSE Transfer, which was on Sports Illustrated, and I said Klopp is the mask for FSG. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and the whole thing seems to be happening again. Again, I praise FSG in that certain article, but everything that I said back then is coming to fruition now, and it's really frustrating. Jonathan, what's your thoughts on Diaz? Are you happy to see him leave this summer, or are you that worried that we won't replace him, that we need to hang on to him as much as we can?
If I was 100% sure that we would get a replacement, Anthony Gordon, I would have said I don't mind it. He's been good period-wise, but not wow. Stop class. With knowing that we might not get replacement, keep him at all costs. If I knew Gordon was walking, just ready to sign the contract, if we sold Diaz, I don't mind him leaving. He's not set the world on fire, and he's not been a new Sadio. So, but if we don't get a replacement, keep him at all costs.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Absolutely crazy.
For the love of God, keep him at all costs.
And that's the fact that you're worried about that tells you everything what's going on with the club right now. The fact that it's just known that a club, if you're losing someone like Diaz, you've got to replace him. And the fact that we're still looking for the Fabinho replacement. 3 years we've tried to get these players in for Fabinho, and we're still here. And even Endo said, I'm not good enough, basically. Even Endo said, I want some challenges. Slot's quite clear about Endo. I think it's quite clear he wants a 6 and still nothing. Going forward then, Misha, actual transfer news coming out today actually was Jogo, and that was Inacio, Gonzalo Inacio coming out today saying that we're ready to present a proposal to his agent, Miguel Pino. We do need still, even though we've been talking about DM for the last 2-3 weeks with Zubimendi, Misha, we still need that centre-back and possibly a left-back as well. It seems to be all forgotten at the moment, all that sort of talk on that side of things.
I mean, we need transfers. There needs to be at least someone transferred. We're becoming a laughingstock with all of the clubs in the top 7 leagues. I just read a tweet that was posted in the chat that everybody has signed at least one player. We haven't signed anyone. And you're risking too much of becoming stagnant. You always have to buy that. That's the name of the game. It's not out of if you want, it's out of necessity. You just have to buy players. I know it's hard to buy players for a new project, but you also have to identify where you need one. It's been pretty obvious. We need a DM, we need a center back. At least these two positions are crucial. With Inacio, we've been linked for more than a year now. It makes sense that we go for him. Hopefully they can reach an agreement. I think is very good. He plays a little bit forward in a center 3. He plays a little bit forward in the rest of the 2 center backs, which might suggest that he might be utilized even. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna be utilized as a defensive midfielder or a 6 or a double pivot, but he could maybe, if there's like a hybrid position, if he can in a 4-4-2 where he just goes a little bit forward rather than the defensive midfielder, the 6 comes backwards. Like we saw Gravenberch, he was sitting. We were getting a center 3 with Gravenberch, Kwanzaa, and Van Dijk, and maybe a player like Inacio can help with that. Hopefully, his class. I'm for sure he can help. But for sure, after Matip leaving, we need another center back, and Inacio he's a good option for us.
I think he'd be a perfect option for us. Someone like Inacio, someone that can play both left back and centre back. Again, he said cover DM, but I sort of let that go past my ears a little bit. But I get it though. You do need these players anyway that can cover. But for me, you do need to go out there and address every single situation. I know if we are to, even if we do get a DM, I know for a fact we're not going to address the centre back situation and left back situation. And again, slots being left short the way Klopp were left short, and that it doesn't sit right with me at all, and it's not fair. And Klopp eventually left, probably underachieved on leaving, to be honest, and he didn't deserve to underachieve how good he was. Stu Inacio, there's not really many centre backs out there at the moment, is there? Really, that's been there's many centre backs out there to go get, but it's not been talked about coming to Liverpool. Inacio has been one of a few. Yeah. Is he top of your list?
I wouldn't say he's top of my list. I'd say he's probably in the top 5. He is a very, very good centre back. I mean, what is he, 22, I think?
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of game time. But like I said, just reading through the chat as well, you got Hinterpay at Leverkusen. You got Castellel Lekeba at Leipzig, another left-footed centre-back, really, really good centre-back as well. Scalvini at Atalanta, even Bastoni at Inter Milan. We've been linked with quite a few of these names. Inacio, we've been linked with a hell of a lot, pretty much all this year, all the way from January up to now. And I'm not saying he couldn't do a job for us, but at the moment, I think more than anything now is that after the Zubimendi debacle and also the really odd transfer layout for the Mamardashvili deal, I don't particularly want to go, yes, we're going to get him, or yeah, we're going to absolutely nailed on, we're going to get this guy in, because at the moment we just don't know. We've been burnt on this one, and quite embarrassingly so. And yeah, it doesn't fill me with confidence, and I think that's the key thing here: is not filling the fans with confidence, having something so embarrassingly go wrong in the public eye with the Zubimendi deal. I think they should go for Inacio in the end. I think the stats back it up, and he's still got plenty of room to grow. But who knows? You know, with 2 weeks to go, it's too hard to call now. It really is, and it's one of those. I just want to concentrate on what's actually going to be happening on the pitch more than anything now. And if something happens, something happens. I feel a bit deflated by it all, especially when you look at the likes. I said in our chat today, look at the likes of Brighton, West Ham. Now, yes, they are squads that needed to improve and sign players. That's exactly what they've gone and done. Brighton have brought in, 7 players. West Ham are looking at bringing in 9 players now. They're looking at a couple more on top of who they've already brought in. What have we done? Oh, well, we need maybe 1 or 2 to fill out the squad. Where are they? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are I've just seen here on Twitter as well. We are the only top flight club in 132 teams of the top 7 leagues in Europe. The only club that hasn't signed 1 player. The only club. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, and just saying, like people that are defending this are saying, well, everyone just wants to buy everyone. Everyone wants a shiny new toy, but we're actually agreeing that we only need 1 or 2, 3, 4. You know, we need 3 players. 3, 4 players. Really, we don't need much, but we're not getting them. We're not even getting that. We're not even getting the bare minimum. Bet no media won't raise nothing to stop tomorrow. I think I've got a big problem with the media that's close to the club, unfortunately. And I do need to address something in the chat in a second. FSG let us down again, but we have to get on with it. Getting on with it has happened too much, I think. SG had Arsenal takers. That's what I'm saying. It's too much. There we go, Paul. You were probably a special guest tonight, Damon. Where is Jurgen? I did have a special guest coming on tonight. Unfortunately, we've got Micho taking over instead. But yeah, that special guest will come back. Don't worry. He messaged me this morning saying family issues, unfortunately. So I've tried to arrange him for a bit closer to the deadline. You'll get the gist of it when the special guest does come, and it is about transfers. Obviously, he'll know a little bit more than what I do in terms of what's going on in and out of the club. A bit closer to deadline day as well might be a little bit more special, getting him in as well. FG not worried about the league. They want Champions League money. Best ones. If they spent 100 million from Caicedo, 50 on Zubi, 50 from sales this season, I'd agree. Even the Glazers buy players, crap ones, but players. I mean, Glazers, they are worse than FSG because they take money out of the club. They've let the stadium practically fall to pieces. But Man United still spend money. I know they didn't get a football structure underneath. That's the only thing Glazers got wrong, I think, mainly. At Man United. If Man United got football structure underneath the way FSG did, I think they'd be just as good as we were. You know what I'm saying? With the right structure underneath. But they do spend, and if we spent half of what Man United did, we wouldn't be, we wouldn't be where we are. If I'm honest, and they'd just make as much money as us. We're not asking for FSG to line out their pockets. The only thing FSG have got is the commercial side of business. Someone set up a GoFundMe page. If you want to GoFundMe for early transfers, please click the link in description in the chat, please. I always knew FSG, not Klopp. The whole world is going to see why Klopp left, and Klopp haters will be begging to come back. I mean, Klopp. I think Klopp left because of a number of things, but I do think FSG and their skidginess of, I think that doesn't add anything to it. As in, I don't think it helps at all. I think it might have been a big reason why he did leave. SJ ain't leaving as long as there is money made from the club. That's what I worry about as well. Following all of you guys on X now. Please follow us on YouTube as well, please, Solo, because we're live every single night at 7:30, giving you the latest transfer news, or lack of transfer news, and our opinions. I want to get your opinions as well, what's going on as well. Just before we do go, game on Saturday, Jonathan, obviously Gakpo said slot Season as left winger. Ipswich, what's the team you're expecting to see against Ipswich? Is Gomez number 6 for you?
No. I think it will be the same back four as always. And I think Ryan could do a shift as a 6. Maybe Gravenberg and Endo will start because we don't have any other choice. And Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Salah, and Jota.
I mean, Jota last week against Sevilla, the goal he put in, it's just Jota in it. I mean, having someone like that so clinical, it's so vital, especially if you're going for a title or the big places up at the top of the league.
If he don't get any major injuries, I think we can be right up there.
I'm just going for the chat here. Bishy says, guys, frustrating that we've been so close on so many occasions. So a bit of ambition with a couple of strategic additions would have been taken over 2 or 3 trophies in the last 5 years. I mean, people forget that two out of the last 3 seasons. 2 out of the last 3-4 seasons have been write-offs. And we had Jurgen Klopp. I mean, that just tells you everything I think you need to know. How do you know over 200 million turnover and no money for transfers? We've needed 6 for 3 seasons, cannot win the league after the top quality 6. We need a Fabinho at his absolute best to win just 1. Also, as well, Misha, going on that actually regarding the 6, I think saying like Endo's good enough to be the 6th for the season, or we don't need another 6 coming in. I think it's very disrespectful to Fabinho, by the way, because are we saying he wasn't that big of a part of what he was and how important he was in the team? I think without Fabinho, I think the whole team collapses.
Yeah, I think Fabinho would. I think it's this saying that you never realize what you have until you lose it. I think Fabinho has always been underrated, and now you see, like, the coaches always rated him really, really highly, but on the pitch you don't really see him shining. And like 1 every 10 games, 1 every 15 games, you see him do over a performance by Fabinho. But he's always there, always hardworking, destroying the opponent's attacks. And now that he's gone, you see how much of a difference that makes. Again, I don't think in slot system we don't need a Fabinho. That was, I think, pretty obvious. But I didn't rate Endo last year. He had like a couple of good games. It was I would say a panic buy because we needed one more midfielder. Sure, that was a good stopgap buy, but obviously I don't see him getting any many minutes, especially in the Premier League. Maybe the cups and the starting phase of Champions League. I know we have a new format now, so I don't know how that's gonna play out. But yeah, I'm wondering what kind of player really they're looking at. Since if Zubamendi was number 1, how come? What kind of position is it that there is no at least 5 other options that cost less, that are at least somewhat with the same potential as a Zubamendi signing? It's interesting.
I want to know the structure that they were planning on trying to get Zubamendi. Was it like buy now, pay later? One of them. It must have been like a clan structure. It must have been one of them. You've seen the buy now, pay later, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because if they don't have 50 more million to spend on a position that is absolutely vital, especially when we've raised 50 million, like Stu said.
Whatever it was, I don't know. Like, why would you go for a player that you know that it's not gonna work out? I mean, this player, you're going in knowing that he rejected Arsenal, he rejected Man United, and he rejected Barcelona, I think, before.
Bayern Munich,
So
I think. Yeah.
Bayern Munich, yeah. He rejected 3 big clubs, and you're going there. You have something in mind that this might happen. Let's say you agree with him. You get to stages that these clubs never reached, and then you let it go public. It's still a big risk. You're taking a big risk to have only one option in this position. I'm sure that if we start to look at statistics, just data or the eye test and things like that, I'm sure even for a couple of seasons we can find a good option, better than Endo. I mean, for sure we can improve on Endo. Gravenberch is good. He has played in a pivot, but he likes to go forward with the ball. He likes to carry a little bit too much forward. He doesn't like to be that much on the center line. But there has to be a player that can do that can just sit tight and cover and play good passes.
Yeah, and don't believe the PR that comes out of the club in a couple of weeks' time if we don't sign 6 and say there's no one out there. Bollocks. Yeah. Bollocks.
Fabinho was really good, but when he was bad, he was really bad as well. But he was the best 6 for a good
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
3 years.
yeah.
But the last season, when he had a bad game, he was really bad.
I felt bad for Fabinho because it was the only drop off I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
But the whole midfield was gone with it,
Yeah.
and so it didn't help massively. Demo, the LSC transfer the LSC summer academy sell off needs to be addressed as well, please, lads. Well, Jay Moose, when I've said I wanted new transfers, I've been told by people that love FSG that to trust the academy. Where's the academy going?
Fucking, we're selling that as well.
And by the way, me wanting new signings don't mean I don't trust the academy as well. But you need a mixture. But it seems like no one's trusting the academy these days, not in the club. Face it now, we're a selling club. Please don't say that, Ian McCarthy. I'm not going back to banter era.
No.
One thing I will say about the club right now. The one thing I will say about club, I speak to rivals on. I'm on a different channel called Style of Play with different rivals, Man United, Arsenal, and Tottenham, and they tell us the straight as well. Like, I speak to Man United fans regularly. I've got very good mates like Man United fans, and they will tell me straight. They say, "I want FSG in." That tells you every fucking thing that you need to know about our club. So if rivals fans are FSG in, then you need to look at it just the way where Glazer's in. You know what I'm saying? Still 2 weeks to go, guys. Keep the faith. If nothing happens, we need to take FSG to task. There is 2 weeks to go, Robert, but I've been told that for the last 4 years. Get on with it. Yeah, wait another 30 years for a title. I don't want to wait another 30 years for a title. I don't want to wait another 30 years for a title. Still, we also have lost Thiago, Matip, Adrian, Cavella, and with Clark, Van der Berg and Diaz look like the departures. We've turned into a Primark sale, haven't we? You know those shops that they say everything must go, closing down sales.
Yeah,
but that's like 5 years running.
Yeah,
that's what we've become. We're like everything must go.
Yeah, somehow that shop is still around and keeps on just everything must go for 5 years.
That's us for the next 5 years. We're now turning into one of them.
Oh, fuck no.
Liverpool will sign half a mil alike before window shuts off and sign half a mil. But I do get it though. That panic signing is coming. Watch Rabiot for free, and that could be it. Right there.
No, God
the Rabiot
no.
signing
banned.
Anything as cheap as possible. I think at the moment. I think that's right to be. Big up to all the plans for Solo. Hughes should swap roles with Pedro Marquez, who works for FSG. I feel we're going to turn into the old Arsenal. I spoke about this a few years ago, actually. I fear of being this happy with top four when Wenger left, and it wasn't good for Arsenal. But even like now, Kroenke's got a lot of stick, but at least they're sort of showing ambition now where after he didn't win title, right, go again. We're going to provide you some players here. They're always needing to upgrade Arsenal. They've done it slowly. Now, yes, they need to go win something, but they are giving Arteta everything they can, I think, to do so as much as they can. You know, they were close last season, and they said, right, we need to address certain situations. This season, they ain't got a good bench, and they're doing that now, where they're addressing that bench, and they might get close this season. I think Arsenal win it this season just because of that. They did a DM 2 years ago. Yeah,
I think the thing with the some of the kids being sold as well. I said this the other night. I think some of the kids we looked at with slightly rose-tinted specs last season because of the job that they had to do, and they did step up to the plate when we needed them to. But again, I've read like sort of the likes of Cade Gordon, McConnell, and Doak have been dropped down to the under-21s.
Yeah,
because they're not ready now. Gordon may be going out on loan. McConnell, I think, was always probably one player I didn't think was going to make it anyway. And Clark being sold to Salzburg, I think it's probably a good move for him because of the amount of central midfielders we got in the squad already. They stay fit. He's not going to get any game time. And he's 19 now, so he needs that game time to develop even further. But by all accounts, we got a good couple of clauses in that sale where we could buy him back, or if he does get sold on, then we get a percentage of that transfer fee as well. So that's decent business. I think with some of the kids, it was always going to be the case. We're never going to fit them all in. Anyway, that's just the nature of football. But like I say, getting that money in and not spending it is just that's where the recklessness comes into it. And even a DM like Manu Kone, who we were linked with last season. Yeah, he had a bit of a serious injury last season. By all accounts, he's back fully fit. And Gladbach have actually put him up for sale for like 25 million euro. Hello. He's a DM, a really good DM as well. Get him in.
25 million as well. It's not that much.
No, because considering they wanted to pay 40 to 50 million for him last season and still never did, and you get him in for half the price.
The same happened with Thuram, I think. He went to Juventus for like 20 million this year. They wanted 60.
Yeah, and we let that one slip through as well. And he's a class player. So I don't know what they're playing at. I love this talk about how it's always data driven, but your data is driving you off the cliff.
The data's got one player out of the whole entire world.
Yeah, and it's baffling to me to say, okay, we're always data driven. We're looking for the best players. But like Misha said as well, the data drove you to Zubimendi. That fucked up. Where's number 2, 3, 4, 5 option on your data pad? Who have you got? There can't just be a plan A and that is it.
FSG forgot to pay the Wi-Fi. FSG forgot to pay the Wi-Fi. And that's where they had the clue. They had to just wing it after that.
Yeah.
As Jamie says, awesome stream today, everyone. Thank you everyone for joining the stream. We can see the frustrations. I mean, if you just look at Jonathan's reactions over the time of the last an hour, you'll see how frustrated we are at the moment with Liverpool Football Club.
I'm the body language for.
He is the simple, exactly that. Everything we're saying, but he's giving it through body language. I mean, body language experts will be onto this stream and loving it. What Jonathan has said, but he's absolutely right to feel like that. Misha and Stu are very frustrated as well, and it's so annoying. And when you get told year after year after year to wait, there's only so many times I can wait before I leave the queue. You know what I'm saying? So everyone, please have a good weekend. Make sure. I hope it ends on the Liverpool win, because if it doesn't, then next, I think the next 2 weeks is going to be quite toxic everywhere. I think, but please, if you do love your club, don't ever be told that your opinion doesn't matter. Don't ever be told that just because you criticize the club doesn't mean that you don't love them. Just because you want a new shiny toy doesn't mean that you don't appreciate the players there. Doesn't appreciate the academy lads as well, because Van Dijk was a new toy and so was Alisson Becker. Look what they got us. Please have a great weekend. Hopefully it ends on a win. If not, good luck, guys. Have a good weekend, guys. See you in a bit.